Welcome back to Delta Green on Myth Machine. If you like what, don't forget to follow and subscribe and bell icons on YouTube and all the wonderful things that you need to be able to stay in contact with A-Cell. Because A-Cell will be watching you and you'll be seeing them again one day. Maybe, or maybe not. You don't know. This is all about spycraft. This show is rated R because of cosmic horrors that will rend your character's mind and body slowly to pieces. We have more than one character with lots of mental health issues. So far, I guess we've had some losses actually in Z-Cell. They're fondly remembered. But no losses as of yet in this scenario. Z-Cell is present and ready to be accounted. And who is Z-Cell?
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm playing Dr. Alex Blair.
This is Coach. I'll be playing Agent Deter in Flawless.
I'm Corvus. I'm playing Jareth Driston.
I'm Harper, and I'm playing Sarah Gwynn.
I'm Cal, and I'm playing Jacqueline Morgan.
Z-Cell is currently in Montana. Last time, when we played, we started your session in a motel room in Browning, Montana to plan your next move in the investigation of a biological anomaly. Whatever that means. You know what part of it means, but what does the rest of it mean? We don't know that yet. You've seen evidence of one biological anomaly. What if there are more? There just might be. Your handler, Drake, urged you to find Thomas Ironshirt, the sender of the original package containing said biological anomaly. Are we going to tell the audience what the biological anomaly was? Maybe not. We sneak. The team decided to start by asking around town, like Dr. Blair and Sarah Gwynn went into Browning town and just started asking random people at the Kmart and at the gas station, apparently. Leaving Phallus to conduct digital research, which didn't go very far because you already found so much. Your first stop, again, was Kmart, and you asked a staffer named Crowfoot and aroused suspicion. You eventually left the town center empty-handed, having only succeeded in making yourselves memorable to the locals, or at least one or two locals. Yeah, the clerk in the gas station was worried about their questions about ABC and suggested you talk to the police, which of course you didn't. Phallus discovered some job openings for janitorial staff and drivers at the ABC facility in the local newspaper. A call to the company revealed that a hiring fair was scheduled for Friday at the local mall, and any employment would be continued on a background check, making a quick infiltration via through employment unlikely. The frustration grew when Tristan, yeah, you weren't here, Corvus, but I ran Tristan for you, arrived from his stakeout only to realize that he had forgotten the crucial soil sample he'd collected from the facility. So he had to go all the way back, and it was a long day of driving for him. Drake called again to Dr. Blair, providing a new lead, two former Co-Intel Pro informants, David Birdrattler and Carl Madplume, who lived on the reservation and could potentially be leveraged for information. You debated your options, considering sneaking onto a train that serviced the facility or attempting a difficult infiltration via the nearby Milk River. Blair and Gwyn, using a simple test kit purchased locally for analyzing soil, much like farmers need to do, found no immediate anomalies, but you also didn't have any equipment that could find the anomaly that you found on the original sample. And then Gwyn called your contact Dwight, who enthusiastically promised to research ABC for his Ecotopian publication, hoping beyond hope that he would actually get a date with Gwyn at some point. Deciding a more direct approach was needed, Phallus joined Morgan and Tristan at their stakeout position overlooking the ABC compound and realized that they had found a very good stakeout position for a laser listening device targeting the administration building. Eventually, he managed to find the office of a man named Turner, who was like in a corner office, and he might be a site manager. You've heard him talk about security rotations, a scholarship fund for the tribal council, pressuring someone about their work, and at this time, you have a clear picture of the facility's internal security, a location for the site's manager, and a name for the site's manager, Mr. Turner, which you also found when you were doing your internet sleuthing. The troubleshooter that you found is here, in fact. It is now the morning of Thursday, September 10th, 1998. Because I don't think we were doing anything overnight. And Blair and Gwyn are at the motel, while Morgan, Tristan, and Phallus are in the tall grass, overlooking the facility about a mile away, using all their the tools at their disposal to keep a watch on. One interesting thing that you will have noticed over last night was there was no train arriving. So apparently the train does not arrive every night. The question is, how often does it arrive? And you don't know that yet, just now. So here we are, folks. Tristan, having fun yet? No?
I want a nap.
You've been... Yeah, you can plenty of nap. You have 3 people who can take shifts here, so there's plenty of nap time. And it's really not a bad stakeout as it goes. Like, you're lying out there in the prairies, in the tall grasses. You've managed to hide the car in some decent little incline between the slow rolling landscape. You have your binoculars, you have your Phallus's signal intelligence gathering equipment, and for Tristan and Morgan, you can watch through the binoculars, and other than that, it's pretty chill. It's no immediate risk of being eaten by a monster, at least. So, better than Glenridge?
Yeah. Even though there's that, Tristan is a very active person. Just sitting around here is like, he's getting bored, like he's twiddling his thumbs. He's like trying to stay focused, but he constantly like looks at like a blade of grass that like moves. He's just, something please happen. Something just please happen.
It's a stakeout. This is the job. Meanwhile, in the motel room, we have Blair and Gwyn. Yes.
Yeah.
You have a soil sample, but you don't have a lab. Unless you break in somewhere. Or flash your badges. Exactly.
We've established that the dirt tastes like dead dog.
No, we haven't.
Damn.
We've decided that the dirt tastes like dirt.
Ah. Damn, this dirt tastes like dirt.
Yeah.
What's... We could take it to just a soil testing facility. Nothing says that the dirt we send in has to be our dirt. You could tell me that I'm wrong? I don't need to certify the dirt I send in is my dirt.
Roll an intelligence check for me, Blair.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, look at that. a whisper to you.
I don't know how much of a good idea that would be, because if a center finds out there's an unknown compound in there, then I think that runs the risk of exposing something supernatural to a bunch of unfriendlies.
A-Cell's always complaining about how they don't have enough people, so we could get them a batch of new people while we're at it.
No.
Why not? This is a solid plan.
We're not sending it in. I'm not risking that.
It's a solid plan. Of some sort. How solid and of what kind of solidity we could discuss. Maybe it's not a solid plan. Maybe it's a liquid plan. Maybe it's a strange non-Euclidean substance plan.
Okay, maybe it's more of a plasma plan. Or like a non-Newtonian. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's...
Maybe it's one of those non-Newtonian liquids that becomes solid when you punch it.
Oh, let's figure it out. Let's throw this dirt and see if it acts like dirt.
Oh no.
What is your intention for the day, Blair and Gwyn? Aside from sitting in the motel room and watching cartoons on the Cartoon Network, because I'm sure they have some cartoons here.
Would a field lab kit work for the soil sample or no?
No, you need solid, like microscopes.
Oh,
and
okay.
the medical go-round, a merry-go-round, to be able to do a proper electronic analysis of the sample that gives you like a full, like all the various elements, the periodic table as it were, and be able to observe the contents of the soil sample under a microscope to be able to really pull out the details, which requires a medical lab of some kind or biological lab of some kind. There's no university facilities in Browning. There is an Indian Health Authority clinic or small hospital which is serving the Blackfeet Reservation. They would have some kind of lab facilities which Dr. Blair could access, because Dr. Blair is a doctor.
We could, I forget what it's called, but it's called like thin plate spectroscopy or something. We could try something like that. All we need is a coffee filter and some rubbing alcohol. It could give us some idea. It's a start.
But you were looking for as a chemist, Gwen will know this. You're looking for a very specific compound, the one that you found in the biological anomaly in San Francisco.
Yeah. So if we take a sample of the dirt and we run it with the thin plate spectroscopy, and then we run on the same plate, or what's it called, coffee filter, we run the isolated sample, then the dots should travel the same amount of distance, proving that they're the same compound.
Ooh, I like it. So you can do that with, what did you say, a coffee filter?
Coffee filter and rubbing alcohol. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Wow. I'm going to be a cruel and heartless GM and say that you can do it with a chemistry -20 because of the very rudimentary equipment you have, but do it. Let's go.
Chemistry. Sorry, my mouse is hooked up to my... It's hooked up to something else right now, so... We're trying.
We're trying.
We're trying.
Yep. Yes, sirree, Bob.
Yay.
What? Okay. Look at that. Gwyn has a brainwave and improvises a comparative test, because obviously you burned the actual biological anomaly, but you kept a little bit of the compound as a reference point, apparently, which is wise. And when you run this test, there's going to be a different level of, I don't know, strength on the indication, if you will. But it's there. There are trace amounts of that blue compound in the soil. So small traces that you can't see it with your eyes. But they're there. There's... When you look at the soil samples, you can't crush the soil between your fingers and get blue goo coming out of it. That's not what's happening. But whatever blue goo is in that soil sample, it did show up on the coffee filter. There's like a small blue trace there, actually. It's like someone has spilled a little bit of ink from a pencil or something. So trace amounts of the blue substance in the blue compound in the soil sample you found, that Dristan found and polluted with his own hair, it's still there. His hair did not, in fact, neutralize the sample. In that.
Yeah, thankfully thin plate spectroscopy does not give a shit about human hair.
It doesn't. The only problem is, of course, that because the sample was polluted with human hair and not collected appropriately with all the state-of-the-art procedure that is expected for the FBI and federal authorities, you cannot submit this sample as evidence to a judge to get a warrant, for example. So, at this stage, because a lawyer would just absolutely shred that and say, what? This doesn't prove anything. It just proves that it could have been carried by him or something. It's possible, because judges and lawyers don't know anything about chemistry. Yeah, they will go by procedure, and so this would not stand up before a judge when it comes to getting warrants. But it tells you as Z cell of Delta Green that the blue compound has been found in trace amounts in the soil just outside the facility.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. How far away was Dristan when he collected this?
50 yards, maybe?
And there's a river,
Oh.
right next to it?
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck. When does that river re-enter the non-reservation land?
Isn't that a good question? So, where can I get the... I'm looking for my maps now. So, Milk River. Heh, it's funny because this river, you know what? It's international.
Oh.
What do you mean, internet? What?
It's international.
What do you... I got that, but, what? Oh, it's Canada! Oh, I forgot about Canada. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I still thought we were, in Arizona. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're not in Arizona. You're in Montana.
It's been a long day. I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is that this lovely place... Oh, why does it do that? For some reason, my Google foo is absolutely horrible to me right now. I'm trying to get to... Why is it doing this? Okay,
I think...
I'm trying to say
Sorry.
this. You have Milk River here in Browning, and that river will cross the border and go into Canada.
At no point does it re-enter the U.S. downstream.
I need to see it here. Open it in maps, please. Yes, there we go. Okay, now Browning. There we have it. Where is Milk River? It's supposed to be. Is that Milk River? Nope, that was not Milk River. That's the Canadian border. Milk River is going to be. I can't find it right now, but it's gonna be on someplace because Milk River doesn't stay in the reservation.
Okay, so I guess we'll just have to drive to where it re-enters U.S. territory, and then collect a sample there to see, because now it's not within tribal jurisdiction.
I think there's only one river in North America that flows north to south, so it shouldn't be re-entering Canada if we're not already in Canada as far as the water flow is concerned.
I'm just thinking, oh, I see what you're thinking. I'm sorry, again, it's been a long day. Yeah, so we'll just drive to where it's not on tribal land, and we'll collect a sample there and rerun the test to see if there's amounts in the water of the blue substance.
You know what? This adventure is lying to me because Milk River in Alberta crosses into the US, but not on the Blackfeet Reservation on my Google Maps.
Delta Green lied to me?
Yeah, Delta Green lied to me. It's very terrible.
Come on, Chaos.
No,
Come
Black Chaos, it's
on.
Arc Dream.
Come
Oh,
on,
right.
you mean to tell me there's not a BDSM cult in New York called the Frat?
I'm very sorry.
Not yet.
I am
Also,
so
I never gave you the
disappointed.
name of that particular club. Club Apocalypse, yes, but not the other stuff. Oh, there we go. It's South Fork Milk River. That's what it's called. There are two Milk Rivers. Okay, so South Fork Milk River.
Lactose Lake.
Yes.
So there's
Lactose
milk.
Lake.
There's a Milk River and Lactose Lake. Got it.
So the Blackfeet Reservation goes.
Don't get me started on
far,
Cream Creek.
And
Cream Creek. Hats off. That's
I don't
better
even
than Lactose
know
Lake.
that it
Thank you.
goes far enough to. Oh, South Fork. Okay, it goes. No, it doesn't actually flow out of the Blackfeet Reservation. Sorry.
Wait,
doesn't.
it doesn't leave?
No, it doesn't. It ends on the Blackfeet because it's not a very big river. So it just comes out into the plains and just ends there. It doesn't join any other, unless it actually is going upriver somehow.
Problem solved. Let the natives deal with it.
Exactly. Oh, I see. Milk River. Oh, now I see it. It actually leaves the reservation on the east side. That's where it does. Yeah, okay.
No.
It's a long way to go.
Okay. Blair, get in the car, let's grab snacks, and go do more dirt licking.
Okay then.
By a place called Zenith Colony, or Sunrise Butte, basically.
Let's see if this dirt contains any crushed Pikmins.
It's only a 45-minute drive to get there, actually.
Oh. That's not bad.
No, it's not too bad. Alright. So, while Gwyn and Blair are preparing to do soil sampling from outside the reservation, the rest of you, it's a nice morning. It's low 40s now, maybe upper 30s temperatures, because it's September. It's mid-September. It's the prairies. It's inland. It's the temperature variations. They drop. It's wild in September. You're gonna have a nice, like, summer-like afternoon, and then in the evenings and mornings, there's gonna be a little bit of crust on the water puddles. Light to moderate wind with occasional gusts, because of course you're on open prairie. And it's mostly clear, maybe a little bit of clouds here and there, but just generally speaking, a nice time to be out camping if you're on the prairies. Morrigan, Tristan, and Phallus, any particular plans for the day?
Realistically, I'm not sure how much more info we can get besides just compounding on what we already know and getting better times on scheduling and stuff. But we have a pretty good understanding of how many guards there are, the exterior patrol routes and the security systems they have. We know where the administrator's office is, so if we can get there, we can probably look at his computer or find some information specifically on which lab it was in, because I don't remember, we didn't determine from the laser listener which unit everything was secured in, but we know that it is secured to one unit.
No, you haven't secured. You haven't identified the unit yet. You've
Okay.
only had the chance to listen to an hour or so of Turner's office. Getting another full day of listening in is probably not going to hurt you, because again, you made the mistake of directing your laser pointer to the wrong office in the evening. Yeah. Like, you were listening to the wrong office where nobody was, and then you switched over to Turner's office and caught, like, the tail end of stuff. And then he ended his day and went to bed in the residential area, and now it's a new day. You have a full day of listening in to Director Turner and his...
I genuinely feel like we are spending way too much time out here. We should have already tried to make entry at the very least. If you guys really want to sit around and, like, watch for another day or two, that's fine. But I really think we should go ahead and try to make entry or do something.
I'm willing to do
Operations.
anything.
We're not going to sit on here for a month. It's been near a week.
Nope, it hasn't been there a week. It's been... You arrived on... Let's see now.
Sunday?
You started... It's the 10th now. It feels like a week, no doubt. You arrived in San Francisco on... Wasn't it the 6th?
We got here on a Sunday,
Yes.
and it's Thursday. So in terms of a week, as far as I'm concerned, a business week is 5 days.
Yeah, the
and that's
Thursday has
fine.
just begun, yes. So
Because
it's half a week then, yeah.
In terms of leave from my job, I'm at 4 of 5 days, and I'm not going to be able to get back and start my shift tomorrow.
Yeah, it was the first day after Labor Day weekend was Tuesday. But you've been watching the plant at full capacity for a day or two. That's it.
You were gonna say something, Morgan?
I think we should still be cautious.
Hmm.
Then again, could just sneak in through the river like we were planning. Pretty much anything.
So here's the question. Say we're looking on the facility after making entry in the river, and a security guard comes across 3 sets of wet footprints leading into the administration building. I don't want to be squeaking around on the floors trying to get past security guards.
Yeah. That would cause unnecessary commotion.
If there's some sort of dry way of getting across the river, like a kayak or something like that, then, I don't know how many of their guards are going to be keeping an eye on the river. It's like an exterior patrol type thing. But realistically, if you want to try to make entry that way, that's a possibility. But I don't think trying to swim across the river is a good idea.
Do you have a better one?
There's not really a predictable train schedule, so like going down the tracks and seeing when the next train is getting loaded up to head this way, there's no real telling.
I have a theory that it might be once a week, but We have no way of proving that yet. Anything else?
Surely there are other ways to get past there. It's not rocket science to get over 2 fences.
Yes, but if
We could literally
guard-
we could bring a 12-foot ladder, and essentially we can have one person act as a counterpoint, and then have 2 people like get over it. And yeah, there's the dogs, which is the issue. But if we can find some sort of way to neutralize the dogs or look
they
at their
also
physical
have
rounds.
guns and are decently trained, so this won't be a cakewalk of getting in. This will be hell, if anything, if we
Well,
just
ideally,
rush in.
we're not rushing in, obviously. That's the whole thing. We're trying to go in and not be seen. And if we have to shoot people, then unfortunate, but that's going to happen one way or the other. Let's be 100% realistic with the situation. At some point, there's going to have to be us entering. And yes, there's going to be the likelihood of violence because they have a security team. So, yeah, somebody's probably going to get shot. Hopefully, it's not us. That's why we're trying to make a team or come up with a good plan based on the abilities of our team right now. The 3 of us are decently stealthy. We have 2 other people that don't have the same capabilities of us, but we can do something, can put some sort of legwork out, can create some type of diversion to draw eyes away to give us some sort of entry into the facility. Then we do what we are good at. If there's a locked door, I can get us past it. If there's security systems, I can work on those. If there is an unfortunate need for combat, you guys are pretty good at that. But we're going to have to do something. We can't just sit around and answer calls from Drake twice a day and just say, we're looking at the building.
Maybe we could get some outside help, some actual information from friendlies.
Yeah.
Just waiting and rushing in with hardly any information.
Trying to get one of the new friendlies we had called in to sniff out Iron Shirt. I don't really see many other avenues, so maybe let's Doug on.
While they're discussing options here on the prairies, our good friends Gwyn and Blair are, you've had a breakfast and everything, and you're taking samples. And Gwyn is amazing at taking samples. Like, it's her thing, isn't it? She's the sample master. Right? Yeah.
And I am deeply disappointed in Dristan for messing up my first sample.
It's not like you gave me specifications. You were just like, oh, do it the right way, and didn't tell me the right way.
He'll have to go to forensic school in the next downtime to learn a little bit about forensics, I'm sure.
Oh,
God
but I can't
forbid
because then they'll be all upset that I didn't work on my sanity.
Yeah.
God
Whatever he does.
fucking forbid I expect competency.
Me.
Don't you me. I will
Well,
haunt you.
I will
You're
say this much,
stuck
Finn.
with me, motherfucker. Yeah.
We can definitely, after some pathfinding, after some navigation out here on the prairies, let's just say, how good are you guys at navigating? Oh my god. You're hilariously bad at navigating. I'm gonna want Blair and Gwyn to roll the navigation check. Because all you have is in 1998 is a paper map and...
Oh, thank God.
Oh, look
Should've
at
told me.
that! Blair comes to the rescue and knows exactly where you are on the map, so you will actually take a sample from the right river. Isn't that nice? Can you run that sample on the hood of the car, or do you need to be in the motel room, Gwyn?
Nothing. I can do it wherever.
Alright, then roll your chemistry minus 20 as before.
Okay, damn it.
It's minus 20, not plus 20. You cheated last time.
Wait, what? Oh, sorry.
But that's
I'm
okay, 'cause
fixed.
you rolled 0-8, so it didn't matter.
Let me fix it. Okay, there we go. Roll.
This time you did not roll a 0-8.
Guess what? It did matter.
You can't be sure. You are fairly... No, you don't know. This is going to take longer to find good samples. I think you're going to spend quite a while around here to rule out the possibility of... What do we call the blue compound?
Crushed Pikmin.
What's what?
Calling it crushed Pikmin.
Crushed pigment. Okay.
Pikmin.
Pikmin. Crushed Pikmin?
Yeah, like the little blue guy that's having an existential crisis.
Okay, that guy.
That guy, yeah.
It's gonna take a while for the two of you to figure out.
It's a blotomatter. It's blue protomatter. Blotomatter.
Is it blotomatter? Yeah, okay. Blutomatter? Yeah, I can go with that. Blutomatter, yeah. Meanwhile, as Phallus is discussing words are hard to say today. Things with Morrigan. Tristan, you will notice, of course, that the shift change is happening again, which means that Turner is back in his office again. Isn't that lovely?
Huzzah.
Huzzah!
So it's what time?
8 in the morning.
Okay.
He starts with asking his secretary for a really strong coffee.
Do you want me to sit and do the laser listener, and you guys go try to leverage one of the friendlies?
We are not the best at talking.
Do not make me.
What? You have a pursuit of 40, Morgan. You're amazing at talking compared to Tristan, at least.
I'm here to scare and kill things. I'm not here to talk friendly stuff.
I feel you, but you are also the person who seems the least interested in scaring or killing anybody on this mission. So you're not really.
I don't want to bust in there and die. I have things I have to do that I can't risk dying yet.
Then maybe go scare somebody on the reservation to get some information. You're less likely to get killed.
I'm just gonna go meet up with the others and see if they have any plans.
Roll drive. Let's see if you can critically fail it.
Fuck. Okay.
You're off-roading on the prairies.
Don't shaft me. It's a fail, but not a crit.
Not a fumble. You did not get yourself killed today. You got stuck somewhere and had to take extra time to move. Yep, that's what you have to do. I'm assuming that the two teams are equipped with radios so you can talk to each other. So,
Yeah, we've had radios.
Otherwise, Tristan will drive to the motel room and find nobody there.
Oh, I forgot about that. He wouldn't know that in characters. Unless they radioed in.
Why don't you roll another chemistry test at a -20? Let's see if you have found something in the soil yet. Or
Yay!
It's
Wait,
like
do I
two
get-
different
how-
groups in the prairies right now.
How many times do I get to try this?
Until I say that you don't get to try it again.
Okay.
Every sampling is like an hour of searching for a sample. And when you succeed like that, you will find that there is, in fact, no trace elements of the blue compound here.
Blotomatter.
The glotomatter. The what?
The blotomatter.
The blotomatter.
Yes.
There's no traces of blotomatter on Because looking at the map, the production facility is like on the western end of the Blackfeet Reservation, and the Milk River runs out at the eastern end of the Blackfeet Reservation, so it literally crosses like miles and miles, and by now it's going to be so diluted that it can't be detected by the means. If there is stuff in the river, you would have to check by the facility, not out here. But this is roughly the time when Phallus will actually pick up something on the listening device to Turner's office. Turner is apparently speaking on a phone. You can hear a click click as there's a ring inside his office from a phone, and he is answering, and you can hear a very tinny, muffled voice through the handset that you can't make out because it's through a handset and it's not going to carry.
I have the lines tapped. Am I able to listen on the phone line?
This is an internal phone line, not an external phone line.
Okay.
But you can hear Turner say things, and he's gonna go, "Yep." No, I'm still here because I'm the one who has to explain your burn rate. Doctor, I don't care what you call it. I care what it does, on paper, in a way we can patent and sell. Yes, I'm aware the subjects aren't responsive. That's not a product, that's a problem. Look, you said 2 weeks. You said 2 weeks. That was a month ago. Don't talk to me about vision. Talk to me about deliverables. This again? The anti-coma indication is what keeps this facility open. That's what the investors bought. No, I'm not going to fume your longevity fixation. We're not selling immortality, we're selling a CNS drug with endpoints and trials. You want to chase miracles? Fine. Do it after you give me something I can hand to legal. Yeah, but wait, no. Tell me about the new samples instead. Okay, are they stable? Huh? Better compliance is not the phrase you think it is. So the gas works, you get reanimation, and then what? They don't recover? They don't... What's the word you used last time? Reintegrate. Exactly. So why are we still doing this? Don't raise your voice at me. I can hear it through the phone, and I'm not even in your lab. Listen, we're bleeding money. Ray Turner is the only reason you still have a badge and a budget. If another staffer gets hurt, I shut your wing down. If another thing leaves your wing, I shut it down and I make you the scapegoat. You want to keep playing Frankenstein? Then give me one clean result. A dose, a protocol, something that doesn't end with teeth. What? No, absolutely not. You're not expanding scope without sign-off. You don't need more bodies. You need less ambition. I'm coming down there tomorrow. You'll show me the data, not theories, data. And Doctor, sleep. I'm tired of you sounding like this. Sleep. Yes, you're allowed to sleep even during the day. You need it, because you're burning the candle from both ends. Yeah, okay, good. Hangs up.
I'll relay that to Morgan.
Okay then. What are we gonna do with this information?
He's going down there tomorrow to meet with him about deliverable results. Do we want to wait for that to happen, or should we probably move before that?
I don't know. What would give us more information?
We're supposed to be stopping. We're supposed to be stopping what's happening here, not getting information
Yeah.
on the results
Yeah,
of
I
what's
know.
happening here. Like, it honestly, it sounds to
Yeah,
me
but
like
like, if we go in
the
blind, you don't know.
how blind are we? We know that mechanically we have a plus 20 to our stealth check to move around the facility. Like, I'd say we're not really blind, honestly. We know quite a lot. We know a lot about the investors. We know this guy's name. We know damn near everything about except which apartment and his residence that he sleeps in on this place. But I mean,
hear me out here. It sounds like the supernatural thing is going to lose funding anyway at some point, so I say we just let this play out.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, we go in to stop it. If it doesn't, we go in to stop it.
Yep.
I feel like I would be trying to call Drake at this point, or somebody.
All right. Blair has Drake's number, but I'm sure you can finagle it from Blair.
Yeah, I think Blair would have shared it a while ago, just in
Blair's
case.
Just bull hogging it and just not letting go.
Yeah, no. Nah, Blair would have shared it a while ago, just in case of anything.
Okay, so Phallus is calling Drake then.
Does he answer?
Absolutely. Let's put up Drake's face on the... There we go. Drake. Look at Drake. You can't see him, but you can hear him. Yeah, he answers. Drake.
Xander.
What news?
Nobody on the cell wants to move on the facility. We have patrol routes. We know approximately how many people are on there. We know what they're capable of. We know basic layout. At some point, the doctor overseeing whatever this project is, he's getting pressed by the admin trying to give results, and he says he's trying to go down there and meet with him tomorrow. Is there any way that you can leverage anybody to cause some sort of diversion of some type, literally anything to give us any sort of additional window to make the rest of my team comfortable to move, or send back up somebody that's willing to enter the facility?
He's sighing at the other end of the line. Sorry, can't swing it. We have friendlies in some really interesting places, but we can only... We can't pull the friendly at that place until we actually have an absolute crisis and an emergency where we need to... Yeah, we can't... The best we could do, and I don't think that's gonna fly either. I don't think the Air Force has the right to conduct exercises on Blackfeet land, so that's not gonna work. It would have to be like some kind of terrorist threat or something like that, ABC threat of some kind, for a clear and present ABC threat of some kind for us to be able to call in the Air Force. When they come, though, they will come with all the stuff.
ABC meaning what?
Atomic, biological, chemical.
I think we've found biological and chemical. At least.
All right, thanks, Craig.
Sorry, just hang tight. You've only been watching the facility for a couple of days. Something's gonna come out. If this drags out, maybe I can swing so that you are here in an official capacity. Would that help you at all? But we'd need a good cover story for that. We can't just have the feds. There's not been a kidnapping, there hasn't been a murder. There hasn't been... I read some of your case file, ACL provided for me.
If I need to start shooting at guards overnight to get somebody involved out here, I'm at a point now where I don't want to sit out here for a month in the prairie and look at this place.
Nobody wants to sit in a place for a month and look at a place. Give it a week. And we'll see. A week from Tuesday. So, what, the 15th? Something like that? Yeah, the 15th. Let's see what we got then. I'm still around. I'm in Browning.
You gonna go to the job fair?
He just kind of cackles a bit. I got a brochure. Do you want to have it? It's nice and glossy.
Hold on to that.
Again, I recommend you try to track down Thomas Ironshirt. Police might know something. Cointel Pro might know something. There are leads to pull. Just be careful when you're pulling them.
All right. Copy that. Is that her out?
Be seeing you. So, now, Blair and Gwyn, you have reunited with Dristan, just as you have completed your survey of that particular sample. What is the next objective here for today?
This river flows into Canada, right? Or flows from Canada, right?
I think it comes, it comes from Canada into the reservation, then passes by the plant, and then onto... So you're downstream, you have to go upstream and past the plant to get into Canada.
Damn! Wouldn't it be such a shame if someone told the Canadian EPA that there was a chemical hazardous river running into their territory? Or from their territory? I don't know. Trout swim upstream.
Is that further exposing the thing that we were trying to not expose?
I'm just saying. It's international and out of our hands at that point. That's their problem. ASO might want to put someone else on the job if it's gone international.
Well, Gwen and Blair, you're going to do... What are you going to do with the rest of the day? Hang around a bar? Go out to Phallus and Morrigan and look through the binoculars?
I would
I'm
not suggest that.
assuming... What was that?
Tristan would, if they bring that up, or he would just recommend not going back there.
Follow up on what Drake said about talking to the tribal police? Which means showing yourselves to the tribal police?
Yeah.
Maybe Gwyn is working for the Ecotopian now. You know, you have your pet grad student. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
he
do.
can vouch for you.
He
Unfortunately, your
hasn't done
persuade is- your
he hasn't
persuade
done
is terrible.
shit so far. My pet grad student ain't doing shit, man. What's even the point of having a pet grad student if they don't help you in
I'm gonna have
espionage?
have grad student Dwight call you. Yeah, he's calling on your phone. There, you can tell it's his number.
Yes, Dwight.
Hi, Sarah. This was really interesting. The stuff that you told me about. I checked it out, I did some sleuthing. I don't know if you heard about this cool thing called the internet. It can give you access to, it's like computers, right? And you hook it up to other computers, and then you can go out and through the phone lines and you can gather information. It's like a whole new thing, right? And I just did that. I basically spent all night doing this, and I found so many cool things about this corporation you talked about. Like, it's horrible. They're definitely exploiting the natural environment, polluting. They're exactly the kind of people that we at the Ecotopian are working against. I'm gonna put together a suggestion here for our editor, Ms. Lin Wei, that we can... I'm writing on the piece right now, and basically these are like the worst people. Like, they have plants in China and the Philippines, and so all the information he's giving you now, Gwyn, is information that Phallus and Blair already found when they were doing their web sleuthing. He's not going to find anything new. But he's very excited about all the things that are not new to you, and about the possibility that he might write a piece.
If this dude's desire to date ends up
Yes.
breaking this case, good for him. Us, I guess just let him keep at it. Good job, Dwight. I guess. I don't...
You didn't give him your real name, did you?
I
Yeah,
gave him
she
my
kinda
first
did.
name. Gave him first name. That's really interesting, Dwight.
Yeah,
Definitely
like,
keep me
this is-
updated. Yeah.
This is gonna be like, I know it's not the Exxon Valdez or whatever, but it's big and it's happening. Like, they haven't have one here in America at the Blackfeet Reservation in Montana. Did you know that? Like, they have a plant in the contiguous USA. They're exploiting people in third world countries. This is what I'm talking about. Neoliberal capitalist exploitation right there. And we're not doing anything about it. I'm going to write this piece and I'm going to put it to Miss Lin Wei, and I'm sure we'll be able to publish something. But I don't know. Maybe you, when you come back on Friday, maybe tomorrow or Saturday, we could, I know at Exxon Place, I could send you my first draft and you could read it and you could have opinions on it, and maybe we could co-write it. It would be like a collaboration. You could have a co-authorship, a byline for both of us. I'd have to introduce you to Fiona, of course. That's the thing we could do.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great.
Wouldn't it be the coolest, though?
Yeah, of course. Co-authorship, that.
Yeah, it would be so
Yeah.
awesome. It's gonna be my first piece ever in the Ectopian.
Great, yeah. That'd be a
Roll
great
another
start
human
place.
die, please.
I think like hearing first piece just made her realize I backed the wrong horse. This is a goose. This isn't even a goose. This is just a very horny duck.
Yes. What a success on human for Syra Gwyn! We are so proud of her.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know people.
Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, so Dwight, grad student Dwight, is not a yeah, this is exactly what Gwyn is realizing now. He's not a grad student. He's not a writer at the Ectopian at all. He is just the guy who fetches coffee to the actual journalists. And you have just given him inspiration to make his first mark and be impressing on the predominantly female editorial team.
What have I done? Oh my god, what have I done? Oh my god.
You will remember that Fiona, you only saw her briefly, but she was rather attractive, grumpy, and a serious professional face on. Absolutely not one who was at the Ectopian to flirt. But you can see how Dwight might find her attractive. Maybe it's a power thing, that she has power over that thing, and that makes her extra attractive to grad student Dwight. Who knows? But yeah, you have set him on a course for his destiny.
I'd like to send an anonymous apology letter to the Equitopian editorial staff.
You think that's gonna be anonymous? That guy probably talks the shit out of you now. You did this to yourself.
Fuck. Tristan, when this case is over, I need you to call the Equitopian and tell him I died.
Can
Don't
I just
jinx
kill
yourself.
him? Can I just kill him?
No, we need to make him depressed so he stops writing. That's what we gotta do. Look, okay? We have to stop him.
Why though? It's gonna go great.
Oh, I feel like college dropout Frankenstein. Oh my god, what have I done? What have I created?
You grabbed the wrong pet from that place. I could have told you that, but no. Nobody listens to the meathead.
He's gonna give you a few sentences of his piece here. This is just my working draft. Here's the title: Biotech on Sovereign Land, Corporate on Every Other. What ABC doesn't want you asking, by Dwight Jenkins and what's your name again? Surname?
Give a fake
Tristan?
one.
Sarah Tristan.
If
That's
it's
my
Sarah,
name.
Sarah Driston. Sarah Driston. Okay. What is you're majored in chemistry, right? So political science for me, and you are like chemistry major, which is irrelevant because you're doing all the sampling, right? That's exactly the thing. Anyway, in Berkeley, both of us. Okay, so this is what you tell me if you like it or not. I didn't set out to write about a company in Montana. I set out to do my job. Answer phones, staple packets, pretend the copier isn't possessed, and occasionally flirt with people who have their life together. Then I started pulling on a thread about amalgamated biocarbon. And that thread, that did that thing that threads do when they're attached to a whole rotting tapestry. It didn't just come loose. It pulls back the curtain. If you build a high security biotech facility on native land, it's not automatically evil because sovereignty. But if you depend on sovereignty as a shield to keep regulators out and journalists confused and the public, then you're not partnering with a community. You're hiding. They are hiding. They say that they're publicly traded, but they're not really public because they're all private company. They're not owned by the public, are they? And they have a jurisdiction maze, which is the point. And this is where my political science brain starts yelling. The facility is on Blackfeet Reservation. That matters for sovereignty and self-determination. But it also creates a convenient fog for outsiders. The reality is complicated. And companies are using that, what's Fiona would say, weaponizing that complication. Yeah. What do you think? Is it good?
Dwight, sounds great.
Right? Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna write on this all day. I do have we don't have midterms for a month yet, so I'm good. This is the start of the term. Everything's fine. I'm gonna write this. I'm gonna knock this out. Okay. Talk to you later, Sarah, and hope I see you tomorrow or Saturday. What did we say?
I'm still working the case. I'm guessing this weekend should be fine, but I'll let you know if that changes.
Okay, yeah, this weekend, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Here's Dwight. Dwight is your pet grad student. He's very eager. You gave him. He's now a dog with a bone, and he is running with it.
Don't get me wrong. Sarah definitely likes it when dudes listen to her, but this seems like a whole new problem. Oh boy. This is not like a puppy. This is like a chihuahua.
No, it's a puppy. You just didn't housebroke him yet.
Yeah, and now he's eating all the pillows.
Yes.
And writing really bad exposés and harassing the editorial staff, the Epitopian.
Yep. Okay. Quinn, Blair, Tristan, what else did you want to do this morning, if anything?
Tristan just heard like the tail end of that from the phone because he was practically yelling. It was just like so tired already because he knows this is just gonna turn into an even bigger dumpster fire than it already is, and he's just there wishing he had a flask full of Jack Daniels, just staring off into the distance.
Staring off into the distance. Yep.
Sarah just has this horrified, what the fuck have I done look on her face. And then, fuck.
Why'd you have to pick the worst one out of all of them to
And
be
the funny part
Because
is
the other-
something?
Because all the other ladies were super hot and I was too nervous to talk to them.
Yeah, but next time, grow a pair? I don't know. Don't go after some high school, college guy who probably never seen a woman before besides coworkers.
Okay, but he was easy to manipulate.
Yes, that should have been your first warning sign. It's always the easiest that are, like, the most pathetic and that will latch onto you like some rabid, love-crazy puppy.
First of all, you're one to talk. Second of all,
Yeah, I should be the prime example. You didn't learn.
yeah, I really didn't learn. No, I didn't. But anyway, here's the plan. When this case is done, you're gonna call him from my phone and say that I died in a car crash.
No, I'm gonna make him cry. I'm gonna make him drop out of college with how descriptive I'm gonna be with how you died. And then I'm gonna ask him, are you happy you got my fiance killed, my wife killed? And that's when I'm gonna hang up. He is going to cry himself to sleep for years.
I'm gonna fist bump. Fist bump. Hell yeah. Let's get this dude to just stop writing altogether.
The fun
Let's
part
ruin
is,
a kid's life.
Yeah. We say kid like he's actually younger than us, but
He's seen a lot less than us.
He's the
Yeah.
same age as you guys. Poor guy. How many sanity points is he gonna lose before this setup is over?
all of them.
All of them.
Can we take them like vampires?
The fun part is,
Yeah.
Gwyn, if he manages to convince Fiona that this should be a piece, then it will be printed in the Ecotopian, which can be read by anyone on campus.
Did we kill him yet?
Which I'm sure will be greatly appreciated by the powers that be.
Well, I didn't tell him how to spell my name, so
No, you didn't.
yeah. Good luck linking that back to Cyrite and Tristan.
Yeah, he's convinced that's spelled Sarah, and Tristan is probably with an I or something. He's
Yeah,
not
I'm gonna
speak
level
right.
with. I'm gonna level with you. I got the spelling of Sarah's name from the buses around my campus. I was just looking at him and I was like, "Oh, Saride." And I was like, oh, "That's how I spell it." Anyway.
Anyway. So that's your morning, you guys. Unless you wanted to do anything else.
No.
Maybe drafting that anonymous apology letter would be a great way.
Phallus, as much as Phallus doesn't want to sit around and doing nothing, you are the SIGINT guy, so if there's anyone who's going to be sitting and listening on the listening device, it's you, surely. Drake did say that someone in the team should try to follow up with Where's Thomas Ironshirt piece, but who does Phallus and Morrigan think is the best candidate for that?
I was under the impression that's what Tristan was doing when he left.
Oh, Tristan, are you
Meeting
gonna...
up with the rest of the team.
Okay, are you gonna talk to them about Thomas Ironshirt and tribal police or anything, or...
I think he'd bring it up because he cannot talk to people. He has said it on a multitude of occasions and has showed it that if he tries to talk to people, things fly sideways.
It's interesting that in this group of Delta Green agents, we have, let's see now, the average persuade is actually terrible. Jack Morrigan has a 40. Phallus has a 54, which is one of the best persuades. And then we have Blair has a 46. So Blair would be the one to speak to anyone, really. And hope she
My
can get away
persuade's
with it.
20.
Yeah, you shouldn't. No, don't do
Do not talk to people. Don't talk to people.
It's
Just keep your mouth shut.
that. Yeah.
that's what I've been saying.
Wait, am I under any penalties right now? So I thought I was.
No, you're not. Everything's good.
Okay. Then yeah.
Good is a relative term. You're 5 points away from your next breaking point, but other than that, you're fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So, also, fugue disorder. That just puts you into catatonia when you hit certain thresholds. So it's gonna be fine.
Yes, we're huge buddies. We're huge buddies.
Huge buddies. Yes.
Yes.
Phallus, early afternoon. You're gonna intercept another conversation. Isn't that lovely?
Yay.
This time it's two people, and they're in the office together. You can hear their voices. You'll hear Turner's voice. Close the door. And the other guy, it is. The probe. How ugly is it? Ugly enough that everyone's lying preemptively. Great. I've got chain of custody lists from 6, freezer access logs, badge pulls for the lab corridor, and a dumpster search schedule that's making custodial prey. Good. Keep them praying. We're doing it in 2 tracks. Paper and ground truth. Paper says it was misfiled. Ground truth says something left the building. Don't say that in here. Then stop asking me questions that only have one answer. Fine. What changes are live right now? Roving patrols are paired. No more single-man loops. 2 at a time, overlapping routes. Interior doors? Rekeyed. Admin, data processing, lab corridor. Admin's empty at night. Exactly. And it's full of people who shouldn't have keys. Your overnight cleaning crews, 28 bodies on 3rd shift moving through empty offices with cards and master access. That's where you hide a mistake. They're vetted. They're papered. Starting tonight, custodial badges are time-locked. Escorts through interior doors. Tool carts get checked leaving. They'll riot. Let 'em. Riots don't cross fences. Cameras? Riverside's upgraded to low light. Added a second angle on the west service lane. Also motion alerts on the corridor to 6. You can do that without IT screaming? IT screaming. I'm not listening. Kennels? Dogs are off the perimeter for midnight to 2. Too noisy. Gives away the patrols. They work the gap between the fences, then quiet. That's the window we can't afford to be sloppy. Then stop giving half the facility reasons to walk around at night. What about the spur? Contractors are escorted, toolboxes searched in and out, no exceptions. This is gonna hit operations. Operations can live with delays. We can't live with missing inventory. Who do you think did it? I think someone got desperate and stupid and tried to fix their own problem, or someone knew exactly what to take and when. And if the probe finds exactly, then you'll want to name a sacrifice, and I'll want authority to end the leaks. You'll get neither if this becomes noise. Then keep it quiet and let me do my job. What do you need? 2 more bodies on nights, not locals. And permission to pull badge access on anyone without warning, including your favorites. I'll consider it. Consider faster. The next thing that goes missing won't be a specimen. Then you'll hear the door open and close, and the conversation is over.
Oh yeah? I'll relay that to Morgan.
We have a problem, isn't it?
So security is getting more tight.
What do you think that is?
At this point, it seems like they're aware that the head's missing.
Ah, I see. I see. This Thomas Ironfoot feller is working against these people. Obviously, they wanted to keep it wraps, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How likely do you think he's still in the building?
I'm not sure, honestly. It's likely he's one of the janitors, one of the third party, like non-specialists, but we don't have an exterior address for him, so he might be one of the people who lives in the residence for all we know. We have neither of the vehicles, so hopefully the team's going to leverage one of the two friendlies to get in touch with Thomas Ironshirt, like we mentioned. But just in case, I'll radio them to see if that's something they're willing to do.
Gwyn Blair? I guess Phallus will radio you and ask if you're gonna poke. So, who are people you can talk to locally? We've already talked about this. Drake suggested tribal police, and then there's the two COINTEL Pro alternatives.
The problem with approaching the COINTEL Pro people are that are they really going to help us if our first action with them is to try to blackmail them? I don't see that panning out, and I don't see any of us being able to talk them into talking with us.
So that's a no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the conclusion? Go ahead. Tell me everything you know. Or won't. Or want to do.
I don't know what.
We think we should talk to people. At least just talk, not threaten. Just try to get information, at least. But that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. I guess we could try to approaching them just as normal people, but I feel like that'd be a bit weird, but we're out of options, so.
Which ones would that be? Your COINTEL Pro contacts or the tribal police?
The COINTEL Pro people.
Very well. It's not going to be too hard to track down where they live. Phone book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will be able to look up Carl Mad Plume. He is apparently a small-time sheep rancher in the area around Browning.
Mhm.
David Birdrattler, he lives on a ranch as well, near Cut Bank, Montana. Which is all of 35 minutes outside of Browning. So all of this is within half an hour's drive of Browning. So which one are we going for? Berg Rattler or Mad Plume?
Yes, the first one.
All right, let's go. This is more investigation in the prairies. So Phallus and Morrigan are on station outside ABC, and the three of you are going to Sheep Ranch outside Browning. It's a lot of sheep around here. You can see as you're driving in all the usual equipment that goes with sheep ranching, which I have no idea what that might be because I'm not a sheep rancher myself. Barns, a main residential house. At this hour, the hands are out and working, and yeah, are we knocking on the front door, I guess, and asking for Carl Mad Plume? And here he is. He's gonna stand there in the doorway, basically. He's probably been out working a bit, but he's coming out as you are driving up to the ranch, and he has himself a nice, wide-brimmed hat, and comes up to you and looks at you very baffled, because who the heck are you? So he's gonna introduce, hello there, what can I do for you? What brings you out here? He smiles a bit. The funny thing is, none of you look like FBI agents at the moment. You have Tristan as camo clothes, and Blair and Quinn certainly do not look like feds. So, yeah, he's like, what can I do for you?
We were wondering if you knew anything about the biomed plant in town.
He's gonna immediately frown a bit. Blair, he is a very suspicious man now. Like, you've raised his hackles here.
Oh no.
He's wondering where you're going with this. I know about it. Sure, everybody knows about it. How do you know about it? You're not from around here. Do you work for them?
No, we don't.
You don't.
No, there's a suspicious package in the mail, and it was traced back to this company, and we're just trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Or are you some kind of private investigators?
I'm supposed to be a toxicologist. I'm not entirely sure how I got here. I just want to go home.
I'm sure you do, miss. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
You know what? Why don't you come inside? Have some mutton, perhaps? Have you had lunch? I have some coffee, beer if you wanted. I don't know.
Thank you.
Hey, he's gonna invite you to his house for a nice bit of mutton chops. All made on the ranch, he says. Yeah, I heard ABC. Now that's a tricky one, he says. Shakes his head. Big employer around here. A lot of people depend on him. They'll swear by it. They're very happy that they get a big paycheck. They pay well, too. But I don't like it. They're up to something. I definitely heard some rumors about chemical spills, if that could help you. Some employees were sent away. There's some kind of cover-up going on. Pretty recent, actually.
Do you know where they went?
No idea. This was... what, like... We have two factories... Excuse me. We have two factories around here, and one of them is ABC. So when stuff goes on with ABC, we all notice. That's just how it goes. And we all noticed, didn't we? This was, what, in a couple of months ago, maybe? Something like that? Mind you, I keep out here on my ranch, so... I'm just a rancher. I really don't know why you're coming to me about this. Who gave you my name?
We figured you were far enough out of town that you weren't connected with the factory and could actually talk to us without trying to protect it.
That's not really answering my question, is it? He says and smiles a bit. But I know town well, always lived here. I know the res well. I have a decent feeling about who is in ABC's pocket and who is honest. And if you want, let's just say that I think that a lot of people in the tribal council and more than few of the tribal police are probably getting extra scholarships, is what they call it, from ABC.
Right.
Helps them put their kids through school and college and whatnot. Get better opportunities elsewhere. Go to Helena, maybe out of state too. But there are honest folks here too. Detective Red Crow. He's an honest man. Wallace Red Crow. Detective Sergeant. He works with the tribal police. He might know more. But I wouldn't expect him to know much more. Because again, the chief of the tribal police are not going to let Red Crow do his work if it means pointing fingers at ABC, if you follow. But yeah, other than that, yeah. Look, I think if you're private investigators, you're sent here to ask questions about ABC, then maybe I'm not a trained investigator. I just know people. I can ask around about things if you want questions asked.
That would be helpful.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh.
I'm gonna roll his human. Nope. Not at all.
We're just private investigators. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Now, look, I'm not looking for any trouble myself. You understand? I live a nice, peaceful life out here on the ranch, and I don't want no trouble for me nor my family. If you're coming here and dragging trouble with you, you're not going to be very welcome. But if you're going to bring some trouble to ABC, don't tell nobody I told you that, but I'd be happy to see them take their licks.
Yeah.
That is our main plan in the end.
What can I call you all? You have a card? I can call you? Or is it better if I don't know?
It's better for your safety if you do not know us. But I'm just gonna take out a card, one that doesn't really have my name on it or any identifiable information besides a work phone number. I'm just gonna hand it to him.
All right. I'll keep this in mind, he says.
Thank you very much.
What kind of questions do you have for the community?
Two.
Where is Thomas Ironshirt?
Oh, Thomas Ironshirt, he says.
Yeah.
What's the kid done now?
Oh, do you know him?
Yeah, he's Bob's kid. Always up to no good.
The package we received was from him. We were trying to find him to ask him about it, but nobody in town seemed to know who we were talking about.
And there are people who know the people, and there are people who mind their own business. And when some white folks come around and start asking weird questions, then maybe they just mind their own business.
Right.
That's fair, yeah.
Nobody wants to stir up trouble with ABC. Though I didn't know Tom had anything to do with ABC. He's just a small town crook, basically. Like, wants to be like the gangster life or whatever. Seen too many hip-hop videos from Los Angeles. Thinks he's some kind of member of the Bloods or the Crips or whatever. Hasn't done a day of honest work in his life, I don't think.
Sounds like he needs to be put back on the right path.
Oh,
Hopefully-
he definitely needs to be put back on the right path. I can't tell
Hopefully
you
if-
where he is or nothing, because it's not... I live out here in my ranch, I don't go into towns, but if you are the kind of person who goes to a bar on a Friday night or Saturday night, you're gonna end up with either him or his dad, and they're gonna get drunk and they're gonna throw fists, and maybe he'll just try to mug you. Not his dad, but Tom might try to rob you. He's done that before. Oh yeah, he's been in and out with the police more times than... Yeah, he's... you could say that he's the bad apple of the town, him and his crew. They're always up to no good. See, this is why you need to talk to Detective Red Crow. He would know everything about that.
You'll be next on our list then.
Yeah.
I think you should be.
Well, we appreciate you answering our questions. I at least have nothing. If my two associates don't have anything else, I will at least bid you adieu.
Alright then. I hope you have a peaceful stay here at the res.
Hmm.
Alright, you've met with Carl Mad Plume. You got lead.
Yeah. Without having to blackmail him.
Without having to blackmail him. You just said ABC is fishy, and he was like, yeah.
Sometimes
Let me
all
tell
need
you
to do is
about it.
Talk to him, you know?
Exactly.
Let me talk to him. Let me talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to shoot him. I just want to shoot him.
It sounds to me like this group is going to Browning again.
Yeah.
It's your favorite place. Browning Main Street. To meet with Detective Red Crow, apparently. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say to it too. I think in this one we should go in as FBI, so that way we have more leeway with getting information on our guy and trying to force him to tell us everything he knows about him.
That might be an issue if the detective actually contacts our bosses.
True, but could always put him on the Delta Green line. Have them cover for us. In the end, it's your calls. I just drop an idea here and there.
Right.
But what are we doing? Badges or not badges?
Not badges.
What was that?
Not badges.
We don't need
Yeah.
no stinking badges.
We should try without them first.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna get into the police station? Tribal police. There's a desk sergeant, obviously, a uniform, who's gonna look up, and you're all dressed in civilian clothes, and looks up and like, how can I help you? Ladies, gentlemen?
Does anyone else want to talk for this one?
What was the detective's name again?
Red Crow.
Red Crow. Okay. I'll talk then. We're looking for Detective Red Crow.
Sure.
We just have some concerns we want to talk to him about.
Concerns about what is, or anyway, yeah. Let me get him on. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, apparently he's in his office today. Look at that. You're gonna be led into an office at the tribal police. There he is. Wallace Red Crow. He's dressed in casual western wear, really. Jeans, a button-up shirt, cowboy boots. He's pretty weathered and heavy-set man in his early 40s. And yeah, he's looking up as you're coming in and... Hello, Wallace Red Crow, and who might you be?
We're just some concerned investigators. We received a concerning package from Thomas Ironshirt related to one of the factories here, and we're just trying to figure out where he is to talk with him.
That's interesting. I've heard the name before, that's for sure. Who are you investigating for again? Are you just PIs? Is that it?
Yeah, we're just private investigators.
Alright. Dang!
Oh my god.
You're getting away with all the lies today, aren't you?
I'm sweating.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was so worried about that not working.
You're interested in Iron Shirt, and so am I. Have a seat, ladies, gentlemen. Thomas Iron Shirt is a no good for nothing juvie career criminal. Yeah. He's isn't the smartest guy on the res, he isn't the best looking, and he ain't the toughest, or even the meanest, but he combines all four of these middling attributes so effectively that he has a reputation as the #1 up-and-coming bad boy on the res. He's left a long string of high school and even junior high school pregnancies in his wake and racked up more than a few unprosecuted acts of vandalism and public brawls. He's not an entrepreneurial soul, so he ain't gonna go into the drug trade anytime soon, because that requires some business sense. Now he turned to theft. He has a gang. It's Thomas Ironshirt and two equally shifty buddies, Jacob Left Hand and Charles Lowhorn. The three of them together, they're suspected in some half-dozen burglaries of businesses here in Browning. I'm the task force, he says. The burglary and stolen property task force. That's me. So I guess you came to the right desk. What can I tell you about them? Jacob Left Hand, homely, not too bright, not much of a past, no future outside the Montana Department of Corrections, really. He's the perfect follower for Ironshirt, because he wants approval and acceptance. Charles Lowhorn, he's been Ironshirt's right hand and chief muscle since before he was expelled from high school. He has a temper, and he has a taste for violence. If Ironshirt points him at someone, he will punch those. Lowhorn is the one who spent the most time in county jail. You'll recognize on his knuckles, let's just say. They've moved on from breaking into cars and homes to businesses. They go after high-end items they can sell off the res. Lawnmowers, gas grills, sporting goods, TVs, stereos, and now computers, I guess, that people are getting those. I wanted to question them about a recent break-in at the John Deere dealer here in town on July 5th, but I haven't been able to found them. In fact, I haven't seen any of the three of them since, I think, the first week of July. I talked to Ironshirt's girlfriend, Lynn Crystal Stone. She hasn't seen them either. I don't know if she's telling the truth, though. But she might be, because no one around Browning has seen the two of them together, like Lynn and Tom, together recently. If God smiles upon us, or the Creator does, then perhaps the three of them decided that it just got too hot in Browning and went somewhere else to trouble them instead. That's what I'm hoping.
Okay. That is concerning.
How?
Oh, the package we received that we're investigating into, like we said, came from Thomas, I'm sure. But it was about the... God's, what's the factory name again? I need to write this down.
Yes, you do.
Names are not my thing.
Are you saying the ABC plant? Is that what we're saying?
Yes, the ABC plant.
Literally the easiest name, ABC.
I thought it was that, but I was doubting myself.
Yeah, Red Crow is gonna be like, wait, about the ABC plant?
Yes.
What was this? Can I see this package?
We don't have it on us, unfortunately, but
Great, okay.
yes, but it was related to chemical concerns.
How was it related to the ABC plant?
It appears
you say this that Thomas Ironshirt sent a package from the ABC plant?
that, or he managed to sneak something out of the plant and shipped it off.
Red Crow just looks really baffled. When did this package get... When did you get this package?
I think it was 4 or 5 days ago.
5 days ago. That don't make no sense at all.
Yes, that's why it's concerning that Thomas isn't showing up, yet we have that package.
He's gonna go and close the door to his office. Okay, so this doesn't make any sense at all. The ABC plant, they're a big employer here in town, but they sure as heck would never touch Thomas Ironshirt and his 2 flunkies, any of the gang, with a 10-foot pole. Like, they're not material. I don't think a single employer in town, small or big, I don't think Tom could get a job at the local corner store or gas station, let alone the ABC plant.
Could it be possible he broke in?
He might just be dumb enough to try. Greedy enough. But if he broke in, where is he now?
Yes.
If he broke in and sent something from there to you, and or whoever you work for, and you received that 5 days ago, what's he been doing for 2 months? Because I haven't seen him since first week of July. Now we're talking mid-September. That's 2 months. 2 months and a bit. And you only got it less than a week ago. What the hell? Now, we don't have any obvious crime here, do we? Was there? Can I ask what was in the package? I guess you didn't receive the package on tribal lands, did you?
No.
No.
No. What, can I ask what was in the package? Was it drugs?
It was not drugs.
It was not drugs.
I sincerely wish it was drugs.
Okay, some kind of contraband. Some kind of bad. So he was trying to
It
sell
was-
this?
Something
It was
very bad.
It was a biohazard.
It was a
Yes.
biohazard.
This in the truest form of biohazard.
Alright. A biohazard. That could definitely be the ABC plant. But how the heck would Thomas Ironshirt, of all people, get his clammy hands on a biohazard thing? The guy didn't finish high school. He wouldn't know how to sell. I don't think he would know how to use an elementary school chemistry set if someone gave it to him.
We don't think he was trying to sell it. We think he was trying to warn people about it.
Warn people?
Yes. Because
Yeah.
it was sent to a newsletter.
It was sent to a newsletter.
Yes.
This
We
gets weirder and
intercept
weirder.
it. Yes, we intercept the package.
Huh.
That newsletter doesn't know about it, but yes.
Okay. I get that you're careful about your clients and client confidentiality and all that. I get that. Sounds to me like we're getting into federal crime territory here. You said biohazard sent to... How was it sent? Was it like a private courier? How did he send it? Maybe that's none of my business. I should be focusing on tribal concerns. But, okay. Be that as it may. He sends a package with biohazard material. Dangerous biohazard material from the ABC plant to somewhere off the res. And he does this a week ago, and we haven't seen him for 2 months. There are things not adding up here. And you say that he wants to warn people on a, what was it? A magazine?
Mm.
A magazine.
Right.
He's gonna warn people. The guy.
We
can
showed the
hardly-
letter.
Are you gonna show him the letter?
I was asking, can we?
Can you?
We
He
can,
says.
but should we?
I don't think there's anything stating how bad it is. I think it's
Yeah,
just,
I
hey, look.
I mean, does it have anything
Here's the
supernatural?
letter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's not really any hints to the supernatural.
Yeah.
I think it would be safe.
The only key word I'd be worried about is this abomination. That would raise some questions.
You already said that it was a terrible biohazard, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going to show it or not?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's safe too.
Yeah, he's gonna. We're assuming that it is in a properly packaged forensically in a plastic sleeve, so he reads through, and so he's gonna take it up and get his reading glasses on because he's not a young strapper anymore. And he's reading the letter, and he's okay. This just gets weirder and weirder, doesn't it? He says.
Yep.
Yes.
This is not Thomas Ironshirt's handwriting.
What?
Oh.
I don't know who wrote this, but it wasn't Thomas Ironshire.
Great.
I've
So
seen
now we
his
have somebody.
handwriting. He's hardly literate. He can write his own name because he has to sign things when he goes through county jail, but not much more than that. The guy is not reading Shakespeare anytime soon.
Okay. Oh.
So, what does this make of Thomas Ironshirt's role in this? Because I don't think Thomas Ironshirt sent you the package, judging by the handwriting.
We weren't aware of that beforehand, so seems like
Maybe
we're
I could
looking
help.
for the wrong person.
That still leaves us with a question: where is Thomas Ironshirt? I just thought he'd left. And now you come to me with all these details, and it sounds like you're guessing he broke into the ABC facility because he's an idiot. But then what?
Oh, but the fact still stands that somebody sent a large biohazard through the U.S. mail.
Through
And-
the U.S. mail?
Yeah, this was
Yes.
intercepted in the U.S. Postal Office.
All right. He's gonna look at
So-
you all once more with a lot of suspicion. So I guess this is an internal postal service investigation then?
I don't know, man. I'm just a toxicologist.
Do I need to have a word with the FBI? Because of ABC hazards crossing state borders? Did you say that it crossed the state border, by the way? Maybe you didn't.
No, I don't think we said that.
Oh, you didn't say
Nope.
that. Okay, so he doesn't say that then. He'll just okay. So it's a Postal Service internal investigation. Still, ABC hazard. That sounds like
Yeah.
state police needs to get connected to this in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, the contents of the package also raised concerns over what ABC might be doing within their labs.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're really
Uh,
here to poke the hornet's nest, aren't you?
yeah, the package wasn't great. I kind of to not have to think about that ever again.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Red Crow is just sitting there. Uh-huh. I follow. Yeah. This just got a bit sensitive, didn't it? Good thing I closed the door, didn't I?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, someone who knows the name Thomas Ironshirt sends a package with shocking biohazardous material through the postal system, which is received 5 days ago, you say?
I believe so.
From the ABC plant.
Yes.
Which means that
Yes.
somebody in the ABC plant knows the name Thomas Ironshirt.
Yes.
How do they know the name Thomas Ironshirt? Because I don't know how many people inside. Maybe there are a few people on the ABC plant. You know what? Come to think of it, Lynn Crystal Stone. She works at the plant.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, his girlfriend. It's janitorial, obviously, but she works there. Maybe she sent the package.
Yeah.
I'm assuming janitorial staff have access to the labs, so it would make sense for her to have sent
I have
it.
no idea how they organize things over there.
Just a guess from my lab.
Why would she send biohazardous material from ABC to this magazine thing through the postal? I can get that. She's not the sharpest knife in the box either. So she wouldn't know about hazardous material, how to handle it properly.
I think she wanted to warn the people at the newspaper that this is what was going on.
But how
the
does
lab.
she know anything about a newspaper? It's Lynn Crystal Stone we're talking about here. She's not the literate kind of person in the strictest sense. She doesn't read stuff. She watches TV.
Maybe she saw the magazine in the lab in some other communal area and thought this would be the place to send it.
I guess we'll only find out if we talk to her.
Yeah.
I could work on this if we label this as a suspicious... Thomas Ironshirt suspected of breaking into the ABC lab. But we have very little to go on to say that he actually did that. Right now it's circumstantial at best. We don't have any evidence, and we're not going to talk to the ABC plant about this because they're going to shut us down immediately. We're not going to talk to the tribal council. My report is just going to say that I'm following up on complaints about Thomas Ironshirt, which is Tuesday around here. So nobody's going to bother too much about that. But I would like to know one or two things more about yourselves, because we're getting into jurisdictional matters where I might have to reach out to other law enforcement authorities, perhaps CDC, that sort of thing. What credentials can you show me before we start?
I think because Sarah's the one with the chillest boss, I think she'll just pull out her card for the Tox Lab.
So you're a toxicologist. Very good. I was thinking more about
Yep.
your legal, your jurisdictional. In other words, is looking for your badges at this point.
Sarah's just got the card.
No, you have a badge too.
Oh wait, they gave me a badge?
Of course they give you
Yeah.
a badge.
I thought they just pulled me out of a lab.
No, they've definitely given you a badge.
Get that.
I'll pull out mine and hand it to him.
Ah, so not so private after all. More federal. I can work with this.
Had
Good.
to be safe for now.
Oh, I can understand the caution given the reputation of ABC, and let's just say that some people around here, and he looks around in the office like through the blinders and stuff. Some people around here wouldn't take kindly to outsiders poking their nose in things, let's just say. Particularly not federal outsiders.
Yeah,
But,
that's fair.
Now I understand your caution. Let's go and have a word with Miss Lynn Crystal Stone. How about it? See if we can find it.
Right.
We will leave our brave agents who finally found a lead. How does that make you feel?
Yay.
And return to the prairies where Phallus and Morrigan are bored out of their minds. It's late afternoon, but I have some good news for Phallus and Morrigan, or at least Phallus. There's another interception. This happens, what, like 6 hours after the last time you had a similar connection on the SIGINT, on the laser listening device. It's again through a handset. You there, fellas?
Did we lose him?
I think he's
Where'd he go?
I'm assuming he's there.
I am here, yes.
Yay! And it's Turner again, and he's picking up the phone, which once again is a bit unintelligible through the handset on the other side there. Doctor? Yeah. Yeah. A few hours of sleep is better than no hours of sleep. Now, no, before you go any further, I'm going to say this once, and I need you to hear it as business, not as a personal insult. Okay? Okay. Sapphire is not a dream. Sapphire is a licensed product. Yes, licensed. Not in development, not blue sky, not your cathedral, licensed. You know this. We're shipping it. Don't make me spell it out on an internal line. Not domestic, South Americans, you know who I mean. We provide production and handling protocol deniability. They provide the money that keeps this place lit. Your job is not to reinvent what it's for. Your job is to keep the batches consistent and the paperwork clean. We're keeping the licensed production to get the anti-coma formula done. That's what fuels our own R&D. You don't get to act surprised. You signed the same confidentiality terms I did. I don't care. I don't care what you believe Sapphire could be. Now you're talking about curing death again. You know what I hear? You know what I hear? Dr. Metro is about to destroy our licensing. That's what I hear. I hear when you're talking about getting new samples, is what I hear is Dr. Metro is about to create an incident that turns us into a hearing. No. The South American contract does not tolerate incidents. They tolerate results. We don't sell your fantasies. Keep your staff on script. Keep your logs clean. And stop using the word resurrection anywhere near a microphone. Alright. Yeah. Bye.
Hey, Morgan.
Yes.
Sounds like they're shipping the resurrection juice to South America somewhere.
We intercepting that?
I don't know how we would intercept the shipment other than just stop one from going out. Seems more likely. Besides, they're leaving out of the north of the building, so they have to be getting shipped out of Canada.
All right. All right.
Also got a name, Dr. Moreau, something like that.
Think there's anything in the database about him?
We can check.
All right. I suppose we might want to infiltrate. Stop them from doing that. I don't think we want that out of here.
And that seems it's in the Sapphire unit. That's the point of interest.
All right.
Oh, look, there's an entire unit called Sapphire.
All right. That one is near the river.
I think, my friends, that the plot just thickened, didn't it?
Oh my god, it's Sapphire and the blue juice that they're doing in the Sapphire unit.
Yep.
Very on the nose.
A little bit, maybe.
Alright.
So maybe next week we'll find out what the team in Browning can pick up from Lynn Crystal Stone together with Detective Sergeant Redcrow. And I guess Morrigan and Phallus are camping out under the stars again, watching the building. We still don't know where Thomas Ironshirt is. But we do know a little bit more about him, don't we? So if you enjoy this, follow, subscribe, Ring the bell icon, and you will get all the communications from A-Cell. Not from I-Cell. They're on some other mission somewhere. I don't know where they... Oh, do I might know where they are. Very top secret. Agent Irene and others. Yeah. But for now, thank you for tuning in, as it were. Be seeing you.